Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Productivity Mastery, the podcast that's bringing you super interesting people from all across the world. And we talk about entrepreneurship, productivity, leadership, and everything else in between in a very casual and informal way. And today I have a chance to talk to somebody that I happened to spend quite some time last week. It wasn't planned, but it was meant to be, I guess. My guest is an absolute guru in the world of startups and acceleration. He's been running acceleration programs in over, I think, 20 acceleration programs, 30, 40 countries. He'll tell us the exact fact and numbers. But he's a super smart guy. He's an OBS guy. Don't expect political correctness from our conversation. So I'm very happy to welcome my friend Tal Catran. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, Boker Tov, we say in Hebrew. Boker Tov, good morning. Glad to be here, Stoyan. Been waiting for this podcast, been following you around. You are a hard man to follow. You're like all over the place and you're moving very fast. So I'm running after you right now. So I'm glad to be here.
It's such an honor to hear this from somebody like you, who's also very hard to track. I don't even know where you are at the moment, but but it's been. Let's give credit first of all to the SlovakiaTech conference that invited us to both be speakers and making sure that we can get to know and connect with other speakers. So hey, Laura and team, well done, guys. So let's get this out of the way.
Hmm.
So let's start with that. I mean, today we set up a title, right? What the F, who the F needs a community? Doesn't mean we're
Hmm.
only gonna talk about this topic, obviously, but just to get the conversation going and for people to get to understand a little bit about who you are, could you tell me the story you shared with me last week about the conference that you had to do in Lithuania and the way you approach your speech?
Hmm. Yeah, so again, I'm glad to be here. And as you said, no BS. Come on, there will be a lot of BS here, but we want to keep it light and flowing. We want to interest our audience to talk about this podcast, to listen to it while they're doing something else, and actually learn from it, get some inspiration, some motivation, because we're going to talk a lot about people say community of what? Okay, so we're in the startup world, we are in the tech innovation, and startups do just one thing day in day out, which is survival mode, and the only thing they get to it is motivation. By the way, their own motivation. We are not different. It doesn't really mean that only if you're a startup you're in survival mode, or only if you're a startup the one thing that will push you in the morning would be your own motivation to do something. It's like that for 8 billion people in the world, kind of about. Um, so my story, or as I always say, startups before anything else, it's about people. That's people's business here. People are the one inventing, creating, ideation, thinking about, taking the risk. Not a machine is taking a risk. The person is taking a risk, okay? So it's all about people. People invest in people. People use what other people manufacture or develop, okay? So it's people's thing. And what I like to do is really tap into that and connect into that. And I find myself, well, the most stimulating word for me is inspiration. I never stop to think about it. I don't go to the dictionary and look up inspiration. For me, it's a feeling. People ask me, how do you go through the day? You talk, you meet, you talk. Well, it's like, what do you have a secret generator inside you? And the answer is yes. I recharge on stage. I recharge communicating with people. People in general are like a battery, like you see in the Matrix, right? Like in the movie. People are batteries. They generate energy. What I think they don't do is actually use it. So there are billions walking the earth just generating energy, doing nothing about it. We all see when you look at TikTok and you see all those fitness trainers, they all explain to you that, come on, your body burns energy, 2000 calories without doing anything. Yes, we are generating energy. My thing is to be able to kind of see the plug, the plug in, and take this energy and turn it into something. So the story goes, well, you ask about Lithuania. Um, I actually go to a conference and I never carry with me a presentation. Never did, never will. I have a one slide, my contact details that you will share with everyone later. And, amazingly, I always show my mobile. And people ask me, you seriously showing your private mobile to everyone? And the answer is yes. And they say, what, are you not swamped with calls? And the answer is no, no one calls me. So either I'm that bad and I'm thinking that or people just, and this is a point that we will touch, people think they know what I am. People think I'm busy. They don't bother to ask, can you have a minute for me? Entrepreneurs are very different on that part. Entrepreneurs just ask because, again, the only way for them to move forward is to take decisions. The only way for them to move forward is to get help. So I was sitting in the audience in a very big, prestigious conference in Lithuania, and my turn to speak was coming, and I was looking at all the speakers. My God, what presentations! I was like, ah, I want like that. No, I want like that, and they all was like dressed up, and I'm like with my freaking jeans on the way. It was a stop I did in Lithuania before continuing on. So I came actually to do my presentation. Right after it, I was on the taxi to the airport, continuing to the next mission. And I was just, as I always say, I'm always looking for this first line that will kind of break the ice or connect me to the audience. And what I like to do before my turn on stage is to really to shush myself. I need like 2 3 minutes, and I just look around. I kind of observe the room. I see who is stuck with his mobile. Which so why did you come here to? You can do that everywhere. Who is
To make
chatting
a
with a
and make a story and post it on Instagram. By the way, there's this big trend. People go to events and concerts and other places so they can make a picture and post it. But this is a different side thing we can talk about.
Yeah. They make a selfie, or this is one comedian says they take a lonely. It's not a selfie. It's a lonely. Come
It's
on,
a lonely.
you cannot find the person in the room who will take your photo. I mean, where's your social skills? And I see people sitting next to their friends. I mean, yes, of course. Why did you come to the conference? Oh, I came to mingle. I came to meet new people. So why are you talking with your friend, the one that you see day in, day out, 24, I don't know, 18 hours? Why? No, people sometimes just don't act out of anything that makes sense. Okay. So I was sitting there and saying to myself, wow, I need this line. And I decided to do an experiment because just before me, they cut for a break and they said right after the break, Tal will go on stage
That's
and
the
do his
worst.
speech.
That's the worst. Like for those of you who are speakers, you know what we're talking about. The worst is the MC saying, "Let's have a break," and then the next speaker will come. Means half of the people leave, or even more.
Exactly.
That's the
It,
worst.
mean- it means half of the people go or some of them just stay out. So it's a nightmare. Yes, this is what you don't want to hear.
Event
Um,
producers, please don't do that to the speakers.
exactly. Listen,
Design the program.
when I'm moderating or emceeing, there are no breaks. You want to go to do pee, go. I don't need to break the entire event. You break for lunch, and you know that right after lunch, oh my God, it's you and yourself. It's a wilderness. So, anyways, I said I will do an experiment. I will go outside and I will cross the room where everyone is eating, and I will come back. And I have a sense no one will approach me. No one will even say hi. And this is what I did. I went downstairs. The whole event was 800 people. So I would say about, I don't know, 500 minimum were gobbling something, eating. So I crossed the room to the toilet, went into the toilets, came out, went the same way back. I saw someone actually approaching me and I said, please, please don't talk to me. And they move on past me. I went into the room and I said, that's it. I have my opening speech. And I was called to the stage. Everyone came back. Full room, full room. I go on stage. And then I ask the audience to stand. I said, stand up. No one moves. Please stand up. No one moves. Then I said, guys, this is not a stand up. This is me asking you, please stand up. Now, people were looking one another. Did he just say, Stan, what's going on? But I was very assertive. You know, being an officer in the Israeli Navy, assertiveness is something that you have built in. People stood up, and I was looking at everyone and I was asking, do you know why you're standing up? Let me tell you. This is the last time that I come to Lithuania. You all see me, and none of you can approach me and say, hi, Tal, how are you? Welcome. A simple welcome would be nice. This will not happen again. Then, as the story goes, 3 months after, I was interviewed by a Romanian journalist, and she named the article where the Titanic and the iceberg met after listening to my story about Lithuania. Well, Lithuanians, they're really tough, okay? They are big iceberg, introverted, reserved, which is kind of common in Eastern Europe in general, not just Lithuanians. If you are entering our domain of startup world, you need help constantly. If you are not smiling, if you are not embracing, okay, you're going nowhere. No one will help a bulldog face angry all the time. People like to be appreciated. People like to see smile and warmth. Get this into your system. The first thing that you need to learn that you're in a business of people to people. Is peer to peer, people to people. That's your business. And when the sooner you understand this, the sooner you put a big smile on your face, relax, be attentive, relax, touch, hug, kiss. Well, I don't know if you actually can do that without calling it harassment. Do it kind of in a normal way, but do it and do it often. That was, I think, for many. You know how I know? First of all, I thought no one is going to invite me anymore to Lithuania. Well, actually, it only picked up speed, and I was invited more. And ask me if this is inspiration. I don't know. I don't know, people's skill. That's day to day skills. And I think that what we would like to do, you and I here, because you share the same enthusiasm like me of sharing, of giving, of smiling, I think you can tell the audience. The one thing that struck me about you is that no matter what is the situation, the scene around you, you will always, as we call it, push up. You will always push the person in front of you higher with a good word in a way that it doesn't sound like you just, dropped it out of your mouth. You actually invest your time in telling the person over and over in 1 minute how amazing he is or she is. Okay? And that is a virtue. This is a plus. Honestly, I don't do it enough. And I told you in the conference in Slovakia, if I'm taking something from you, by the way, I used it yesterday in
I
three
love
Zooms
that.
I did,
I
and
love
I
it.
used it this morning.
That makes me
Okay,
so
I
happy.
used it this morning in WhatsApp. Listen, I think you would agree with me that converting this speaking into a WhatsApp texting message is challenging because you don't get to talk, you just get to write something. And you know what? I'm bingo. I sent 3 out of 3, and the message was very simple. Good morning. I woke up this morning thinking we need to do something. How about we do virtual coffee on Friday? 3 out of 3, bingo. Let's meet on Friday.
Man, thanks so much for acknowledging this. First of all, we have both of us have different style, I would say. We kind of come from the same place, but maybe you're a little bit more coming to the face of people, right? Like just being a little bit more aggressive and arrogant, I would say. But this arrogance is totally covering the care that's under it because you want people to win. You want people to win, and you tell people what they need to hear in the face. I do it, but in a little bit of a different way, like a little bit more coming from an uplifting kind of side, as you said. But to your point, people are not seen. People are not seen. We don't tell each other that the good things that we appreciate enough. You know, it's it's simple. You can always find something in someone. You see the homeless person on the street. You can find something good about them. Why not tell it? You know, as you said, why not send a message to somebody and audio message to a friend? Hey, Razvan, our good friend Razvan. You know, yesterday I sent him a message, man, because he's always been so supportive. Razvan, if you're listening, brother, we love you. Um, you know, just yesterday I grabbed my phone. I was thinking of him, and I was like, dude, just want to tell you, you're fucking amazing, man. Just love your like as a friend. You're just awesome, man. Thank you so much for being you and keep it up, brother. If you ever need a help, call me. Call me. That 20
I,
seconds, man. 20 seconds.
I connect to what you're saying, and I know that maybe people right now actually turned on listening to this part and saying, "What the hell are they talking about?" Come on, it's kind of basic. Let me tell you, it's not basic. Being aware of yourself is not basic. Being aware of yourself 24/7 is not basic. Putting Standing to the moment, be there at the money time. People just don't do it. Why? It requires energy. It requires stamina. What do you think? You and I, we don't get bad days? Of course we get bad days. Of course there are days that people look at me and say, better watch out, better stay distant. It's not my day today. And by the way, if I strike out 3 times, then I'm closing everything. I stop communicating. That's it. It's not a good day. Not communicating with the world, doing what I'm doing. I don't pick up a phone and start talking. I get myself ready for the moment, especially if I'm looking to talk to someone who has some influence on my future, on my destiny, someone which I need. I need to think it over, but not too much. But the thing is that people are sometimes or not thinking, not considering, not in their zone in the moment, or overdo it and they get stuck. Don't. Don't. Keep on moving. The one thing that you don't do is stop. You take a moment. You don't stop, meaning you're still moving forward, but slowly. And I know that. I know that from running. When you run, if you do Ironman or you run a marathon, come on, after a few kilometers, there is the discussion between the brain and the legs. And the brain tells the legs, what the hell are we doing? What's the prize? Is there €1 million at the end? Are we gonna be super famous about what is there to win? And little by little, from running, you run, but slower. Then you walk faster. Then you walk slower. Then you stop. Once you stopped, that's it. You don't stop. So, to the point of what we're saying right now, it's about you, but it's also about the people around you. An actor in a theater doesn't end the play and go, I did a great job today. He listens to his audience, and there is a lot of clapping. He knows he did well today. He earned his salary. So, yes, it's on the one side about the reaction, the response coming from people, but you need to work on yourself. One of the most asked questions I hear, how do I break the ice? Not on stage. Okay, I'm off stage. I'm now in the mingling stage where I walk between people and I'm looking for my €1 million check with my name on it. Who holds it? The problem is we never know. We still don't have this AI that would put a sign on top of our heads. Hey, I'm here. Come to me. So I need to go around and shake people's hand and ask, do you have my €1 million check? And but you need to, all those people who want to win the lottery but never send the form. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Those who want but don't do nothing about it. Be an activist. And the way that you're doing it, and I want the audience to take an example. When you go to someone and you say a good word, no one will turn away. What you will see that if the person is actually talking to someone and you're waiting your turn and he takes a short break, looks at you, and the one thing that you're telling him is, listen, you were just on stage. I was inspired. Wow, you really touched me. What do you think will happen? I will tell you. In 2 seconds, he tells this person, go away. I'm done with you. Come, talk to me. What did you like? And this is another thing that you do so often. You never stop at someone telling you, wow, I liked what you said. Immediately go, what did you like? Tell me, what did you like? This instigates a discussion because in most cases, the reaction you see from people, you tell them, hey, I liked your speech. They go, thank you. And there is no follow up.
Mm.
Change this. Change it from when you're saying, I liked your speech, and say what? Or when someone approaches you and says to you, you did a great presentation. Show interest. Ask, what did you like? Why? Because you would like to do more of what they like because it works for you. You don't need to think what they like. Just ask. And the one thing I've learned from people is that I almost never received the, I don't know, I just liked it. That's childish, okay? People usually don't act like that. They expect you to ask. They expect to share with you. You just need to open the door. And if we can give something to the audience listening today, it's about not just opening the door, it's keeping the door open. Plus, and this is the big value, reaching out and grabbing. You know how many managers in my life I heard say, hey, my door is always open. You can come in, you can reach out. You know how many people go to their room? Zero. Zero. It's not about keeping the door open. It's about reaching out and grabbing whomever you want and get them into the room. And this is what I mean in getting into the zone. It's an action. It's an action based. Everything you will hear here today is about taking action. By the way, we say not taking a decision is a decision. I don't like this. This is too smart for me. Either you do or you don't do. The not doing for me, at times you can accept it. But what we want to push the audience here to today to realize more, it's up to you. It doesn't require super skills. You don't need to be a Wonder Woman or a Superman. Be yourself, get be an activist. Try it. It's addictive. Really. You would like to do more and more and more, but you need to try. The only time that you would like more of something starts with tasting for the first time, with doing for the first time, not just looking and saying, wow, he's doing it very well. Probably I will not be as good. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? We know only when we experience. We know only when we try. And by the way, most of us, I mean, you and I, okay, we train, right? I mean, I train, I see my body mass grows, but I still remember that maybe I didn't do arm wrestling well. I have an idea that now I'm supposed to do it better because I'm strong, but I just don't try it. And it's about trying and using what you have. It's about gaining skills. It's about getting better. It's about practice, but it starts with an action. Intentions, with all due respect, don't count. It's about action. It's about deliverables, which we in startup world like so much to speak about. Deliverables. Start delivering.
But that's the thing, right? When you the startup mindset is about I need to be okay to be bad at something for a period of time while I'm trying and testing and things are not working and I'm getting better and better and better 1% and 2% and 7%. And eventually at some point I'm going to be good if I have the potential and the talent. And the same thing is with networking and building meaningful connections. I mean, so many people, you go to a startup tech conference, what happens, Tal? And you've been to, I don't know how many countries, maybe 40, 50. I have no idea. I can't count the countries I've been on, speaking on. already. But it's like the same thing. It doesn't matter the culture. You go and 50% of people at this startup conference is the moment you say hello, they'll start pitching you for 5 minutes. Hi, I'm
Uh-huh.
Stoyan. Hi, my name is this. I have this startup. It's a B2B and we have this product. Like, dude, I just said hello. Who are you? Like, what? Like, I'm not listening. I'm already off. That's how, people need to learn to build connections. I think when you go to a conference and you said it really well, have an intention. What do you want to happen? Do you want to? It's like you go to a bar and you see this beautiful looking person, and then you go and say hi. What's your name? Maria. Hi, Maria. I just saw you from over there, and I just thought it would be great if I get married to you because we'll have a great family. And how about we get married? You don't do that, right? Because it's silly. But that's what people do. The same thing. It's like, hey, wait for stuff to happen. You can't just go there. You have to, you know, just be human. Just chat a little bit, ask them some questions, genuinely care for them. That's the hat you have to put on. Curiosity hat. The reason you and me have so many connections all around the world is because we don't go and start pitching them from the door. It's because we go and you start a normal human conversation and you say,
Come on.
so what do you do?
But you,
Where do you
but
want?
you
What
and
do
I,
you need help
you and
with?
I, we don't have what to pitch. Come on, you don't go with a startup. It's not fair. But of course, you're very right. You're very right for the fact that yes, when you're in a startup event, then it's kind of expected that the startup you will talk to will immediately spit a presentation on you. They don't even care if you listen. For them, it's a V. I met
Check.
20 people, but you need one. Where is your one? So when you spray and pray, that's a one way to go about it. But when you come to a conference and you have a target, there is a reason why you're there. You can be 15 minutes in the conference and it will be amazing. You could be an hour. You can just come for the lunch. But you need to know why. Why am I here? Why did I come here? And most people, you ask them, why are you here? Silly answers. I wanted to mingle, to meet new people. Why are you talking to a friend? I wanted to eat, but immediately when you go to eat, there is a big line and you find yourself doing what? Talking again. So you're talking to whom? To a friend again. Why are you here? Any questions? No one raised a hand. Why are you here? You just been given an opportunity to stand up and instead of looking to the stage, turn to the audience and say, hello, my name is Tal. I'm so and so, and I'm looking for help on so and so, or maybe I have a startup, or I just wanted to say there are 200 people right now, and I need to do a market survey. I see different age, different sex, different social, economical status. Great. I want to ask a question. I am doing so and so. Would you resonate? Do you agree with my statement? Do you care for what I do? Use your time. And people just don't do it. Why? Not because they don't think about it. I would say many don't even think about it. They don't dare. They think about it. And their problem is not with the fact that someone will throw them out of the conference. It's what will people think. And when you are stuck on pleasing people, when you are stuck about what people will say about me, then why are you here? This is about you understanding who you are. This is about you realizing your opportunity, your capabilities. It's not about what people think, it's about what you think. Because when you think that you have value, when you believe you have something to give, when you believe you are good, then it radiates out of you. People sense it. We are people. You don't need to be super smart to look at someone's eyes and understand is it interested or not interested. You don't need to go, "Oh," no, you just look at the eyes and you know if the person is with you or not. Don't you get to talk to people and sometimes you stop and say, hey, you're not here. How do you know? You look, you see, use it. You have basic human skills. We all have it. It's genetic.
This is,
It's
by the way, what I'm talking about. You said it really well. You radiate this energy, like the initial thing that I was talking about. You radiate. I'm needy. I'm chasing. As opposed to you have this confidence. You're the one that approaches people. I mean, when I go to a conference, to a networking event, or we are put into some nice speaker lounge as speakers, right? I want to talk to people. My goal, my purpose, and everybody has different purpose. My purpose is I want to get to know interesting people, and eventually some of them will become my connections. Will become friends. Will become partners, business partners. So that's my purpose. And for those people who think that people like me and Tal, every conversation is going to be super interesting, that's not the case. You could talk to somebody, totally don't hit it. Like you talk to them for a minute, you see there's no, you just move on. People will reject you. Who cares? You got talk to many people, and the more you talk to people, the more you get into this kind of a vibe of you're at ease. Humor helps a lot. Joking around. I don't think people are so serious sometimes. They go to a business event, they think that they have to be serious all the time. But when you start joking around, I mean, you joke around with billionaires, with unicorn founders, and they get to know you. Crack a joke, say something. Another thing is commonalities. They say, hey, yeah, I'm from whatever, Poland. Oh, Poland, I've been in Poland doing this and that. Oh, really? So you start talking about Poland now, right? So find a commonality, and always seek, how can I help this person? Like, how can I help first? Okay, he's in Poland, he's seeking for funding. You know what? I know this investor who has a great network there. Would it make sense if I introduce you guys? Might be a good match in between you. Send me an email. I'll be happy to make an intro. Oh, thank you so much, man. What do you do? Now they want to give back, right? You don't have to be pitching, but you can say, well, I'm a speaker. Like most of the stuff we do, I don't know, Tao. I don't know how things are for you, but for me, majority of the stuff is coming from referrals, right? An event producer is really happy with what you do. They know other people and they refer you and recommend you to another conference, to another organization. So you gotta be the. I was listening to a video with this guy Alex Cormosi, this marketing guy. He had a video and really resonated with me. He said, whenever you go, if you want to build meaningful connections, you want to be the MVP in every room that you're in, right? Like you want to be the most valuable person, and that means you're seeking for opportunities to create value. That would mean maybe you ask questions and ask somebody. If somebody's feeling down, you maybe lift them up a little bit. If somebody is looking for fundraising and they're a cool person, maybe you introduce them to an investor. You connect people. You crack a joke. Like you get the energy up, right? But put a hat on being the MVP. My goal is to be the MVP of this event. At the end of the event, people will be like, "Wow, this Tao guy, he was such a cool guy, man. He offered me advice. He introduced me to these people. Oh yeah, the Tao guy, man. Yeah, the guy from Israel. I learned so much from him. He was so approachable." Speakers listening, by the way, so many of you do your speech and then you leave, or you lock yourself in the VIP speaker lounge and don't get out of that. Well, your job is not to be a speaker, and to deliver a presentation is part of it. It has to be very well structured, crafted, in power. But your job is to contribute with your presence, right? Go and talk to people, say some good things about the event, connect people, answer their questions. They probably watch your presentation, want to talk to you, want to get a personal advice. Give your time. You know, how do I become the MVP? I think that's the question.
I would say people about now saying, listen, those guys talk for half hour. The idea was community. They haven't said a word about community. I think that that's the right point. What you're saying is that, well, the 100 will always win against the one. And that's kind of the basic idea about community. When you share, when you community, when you communicate, then things become in a way somewhat easier. When you act as a herd, as a flock, things are getting more easy to do. But for this, you need to become a community. For this, you need to talk. You know, people come together only when you call them, while they have every opportunity at every given minute to come together. They just don't, because basically people are lazy. It doesn't mean that you and I are not lazy. All people are lazy. It doesn't mean that you and I don't miss out. Of course, we miss out. And as we said, we know to identify those days where it's better to stay in our cave than to go out. But if happens, it happens that on the same day that I feel like that, there is a conference and I need to be there. So the community. It's like when you, I don't know, go to gym or I don't know, do stop smoking or go on a. Of course, it's easier when you have someone to do it with you, because on the days that you're on the floor, he or she will pick you up and you will do the same for them. That's the simplest description of a community. Now, these communities are formed by people. You don't wake up to a community, you make a community. And today, in this global village that we live in, today, where the first thing you do in the morning before brushing your teeth is to look on Instagram and to see who liked you this morning, that's what counts, right? Think about it. It's not what you think about, it's what the people think about you all the time. And this is getting worse and worse. The fact that we are motivated to please others by giving us a like, and the fact that we respond only, come on, don't tell me that you don't expect when you like my post that I would like your post. And don't tell me that if you saw me liking your post, you will not then like my post. Of course you will. That's a
It's
beginning of
possible.
a community. This is how it is. This is how we are, in a way, kind of, I don't know, nurtured, socialized right now. So I don't say let's stop it, but I'm saying let's take an advantage of it.
Hmm.
Let's connect. And this community is super essential. In more mature, I would say, communities, where it's absolutely okay that I will go to as a startup to a meeting with an investor, and you know what? It didn't go well for me. I can tell you, in most cases in my country, we have many WhatsApp groups. Entrepreneurs this, investors that, accelerator managers that. I don't know, hundreds of them. You will see people go on this app and write in the group, listen, everyone, I had a meeting with so and so. Didn't go well for me. But the one thing I learned is what is interesting for him or for her. Use it, go and meet. Or that's the number. You know, we have something called angel list. It's an open Excel spreadsheet. You can write now on Google, angel list Israel, and you will find a list of our investors. Open on internet. Who has such a thing? Where was the last time you actually heard or read a startup sharing a failure of meeting a, but then also giving it as an opportunity for others go and meet? Did you encounter such things? I can tell you, I encountered that only in my country, where people are just, I don't know, socializing differently. The skipping the cards to your chest and not sharing will mean that you will become niche and obsolete. People will not communicate with you. But when this is done on a community level, then there is no community.
Okay,
There is
let's
no
let's talk about that.
brotherhood.
Let's talk about that. A lot of the listeners of the podcast are coming from Central Eastern Europe. Now, I lived in Denmark in the Nordics, right, for 10 years. The way they look at community and trust is very different than what's happening in Eastern and Central Europe. Now, you've been building communities literally in more than 25 countries, creating these communities. You're from Israel. I visited your country last year, and I gotta say, actually you set me up with some people, which was really cool. I didn't know you. I just like, who's from here? You were like, call me on the WhatsApp and let's like Even this, right? I don't know you, but you call me, you spend like 20, 30 minutes, and you're like, talk to this person, talk to this person, tell them I send you, right? So and then I started talking to people because I want to talk to people. When I go to a country, I'm like, who should I talk to? Who are the interesting people? And then I start
Mhm.
setting up coffee meetings and lunches, and I came to Israel, and it's like everybody's so friendly and welcoming. Everybody is like so curious. They'll spend a lot of time just to ask me, where do you come from? And I was even guilty at some point. They guilted me because I'm trying to shift the conversation so I can learn about them. But they'll be like, no, no, that's fine. But tell me more about what do you do? What are you excited about? And it was this kind of feeling. So my question is, what can we learn from Israel about building communities?
I think that first of all, I want to say to people that aside, from hearing that Israel is startup nation, and I want really people to listen to, I talk about it a lot in my lectures, and I invite people to visit my YouTube channel and hear it, that for us being a startup nation is not just about the number of startups per capita, like they say. It's kind of a culture thing. Is that when we started Israel, well, in 1898, Theodor Herzl, the father of the nation, stood in Basel on a balcony and said the Jewish people need to have their own state. He went to sleep, he woke up the next day, nothing happened. A week, a month, a year, a 10 year, a 20, 50 years later came David Ben Gurion, who actually established Israel. Very much like a startup. You have a CEO, he's a dreamer. I can fly. But without the CTO that makes the technology, it remains an idea, a dream, not realized. So you need two, a one and a one. This is why we are Startup Nation. And to the point is the fact that we are small in numbers, surrounded by people that would prefer us not to be here. Okay? This is changing little by little. It will change at the end. I believe it so. But we, as a small nation, realized at a very early stage that we can count only on ourselves. And counting only on ourselves came from the reason that when we asked the nations around us to help us, they refused for whatever reason. So we started to develop for our own, not thinking that the world will need, I don't know, ways, mobili, irrigation, desalination, internet, schminternet. We thought that we would need it for our survival, and we developed it. It created immediately a community. When you are closed, the only people you can talk to are around you, then you have a community. Then, second, was the understanding that we would forever need the world's help. We would need the world to be at our side. Not talking, not communicating doesn't get you anywhere. You learn that socializing is the key, that communicating is the key. Is by saying to someone, listen, I'm not that good at that, doesn't mean that you're a failure. You are just not good at that. You are good at something else. And that something else might be that this is what the other person you're talking to is not good at. So you have something to swap, to barter. In startup world, that's basic. As a startup, you're always low on resources. And what do? You barter. As I say, companies compete, startups unite. So give me your graphic designer, I will give you my UI UX. Give me your programmer, I will give you my, I don't know, HR. It's all the time about swapping. Again, communicating. It doesn't work any other way. So when I get someone to talk to me, and by the way, we Israelis, we love talking in English. I mean, this is a thing for us. When you reach out to us in English, immediately we say, shh, 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 there's someone speaking in English. I need to help. That's a one. A second is that we have learned that by helping someone, that someone will owe us a favor. And we always need someone to assist, especially in startup world. When again you are low on resources, it's all about favors. And favors is not just something tangible. Giving you money is not a favor. That's a donation. You don't want to be there. This charity. But what you can give is an advice. What you can give is a contact detail. What you can give is an introduction. And when you learn that the energy for that is relatively small, but you can gain a lot by doing it, you do it more and more. So, Stoyan, when you come to Israel and you want to meet me, I'm intrigued. Why me? Weird. Why does he want to meet me? And when someone like you meets me and starts the whole conversation by listen, I read about you, you interested me, I saw so many achievements, and I want to be part of your success. I want to tap in just to learn. I don't want to take anything, but I want
Good.
to take a knowledge from you. I want to take your connections. I want you to say simply, call so and say, I vouch for you. I know who you are. And it's always funny to me. I get so many calls from HR people saying, listen, your name was given as a person who will recommend the person that applies to our job. Can you please tell me what is good, what is bad? I said, excuse me, do you know who you're talking to? Yeah, 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 Tal. I said, do you know who I am? He says, yes, you're the person that will. I said, enough, don't be stupid. Did you take the time to listen, to read, to learn who I am?
Mm.
No. So why do you count on my recommendation? Why do you care for what I have to say? Tell me, if I were to tell you that the person can recommend me is Elon Musk, would you even call him? No, come on, it's Elon Musk. Good. So I'm the Elon Musk of what I do, and you should have known this. And before you call the next person that will recommend, please know who you're talking to. And then you see them go, really? Never thought about it this way. Which comes to another point, perspective. How do you look about things? And the one thing I see many times in startups, number one, and you touched it, you meet someone and he asks you what you do. I'm telling you, as you said correctly, he's asking, who are you? But it's sometimes not maybe nice, not little bit embarrassing to say someone, who are you? So you say, okay, tell me what you do. Don't take it literally. Always start by saying who you are. Number one. Number two, as you said correctly, they spit a solution on you. So we do blah, 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 blah. Wait, what are you solving? Can you please start by sharing the problem that you're trying to solve? Why? Because all of you, when you turn to me and you say, Tal, I have a question. If I will go to someone to ask for help, to ask for an opinion, then I will tell him my idea and he will steal it from me. So why are you so quick to say what you do? Maybe ask by starting by what you're solving. And if the person says to you, well, it's very nice, but I'm not interested in your problem, maybe you say bye and you walk away. It's also okay. So makes sense. And you know what's amazing, Stoyan? People listening to us, I would assume at this point, they feel the following. I mean, those two guys, are they inside my mind, inside my brain right now, running and seeing everything that I think about? Oh my God, it's psychic. It's crazy. No, we're not. You're just like everyone else, which is amazing to people. Oh, I'm so unique. No, you're not. You're like everyone else to begin with. That's the first thing. So, how do we know? How do we know what you think? We just think alike. People are people wherever you go. This is why, to this point of stopping for a second and realizing you need to make sense. I hope that you will give me like 2 minutes, kind of to give you know, the 101 as we call it, just some practical tips of what people
Mm.
need to do when they approach, when they go to a conference, when they are getting ready for a meeting, when they are inside the meeting, what they do after the meeting, the follow up. How many events did you and I go? And it was an event, it was very nice. There is no day after. There's no plan for the day after. We each go to his country, say bye bye, see you in the next conference. This is for the conference organizers among us here, those who are looking for the speakers to make an amazing event and they don't think about the day after. This is for the startups here that think that the only thing that they were made of is to made for, sorry, is to raise money. No. Tell me how many startups did you meet in your life that told you, well, listen, actually, the only thing I want from my startup is just to have a place of work where I can take a nice salary home and enjoy my work. No, they don't think in these terms. Ask a startup, what's your salary? What? Salary in a startup? Where from? How can I take a salary? You don't ask your grandfather when he opened his small business. He said to you, listen, I had to support the family. I had to bring bread to the table. So I opened the business, made a small salary, bought bread, we ate. Startups, they live on air and motivation and survival mode, on fumes. Change. You know how many startups for them, being a startup is a license to go crazy. You know it from experience because all of a sudden, this person who came from Cisco, Microsoft, Facebook, Intel, the big names, all of a sudden, he doesn't even have a simple plan, a Gantt, deliverable list. They forget everything in a second. Don't go this way. It's about running a business. Don't be mistaken. It's about taking a salary. It's about bringing food home. It's not about going crazy, going on a limb. Yes, it's about taking risk and maybe not even a calculated risk. It's about failure. It is okay to fail. We need to say to people, Stoyan, especially in the region that we talk about. It's okay to fail. It doesn't mean that you are a failure. You have tried, you have failed, you will go back on your feet, and you will try again, and you will succeed. Why? Because this is how it is. Don't ask too much why, but keep on moving, keep on doing. This is where we want to see you. And I think you will agree that we are very happy to offer our help. You know why I'm saying this, because no one will call anyway. So we're very willing to offer our help.
But
Connected.
even simple stuff, Tal, like people might be intimidated. They'll say this Tal, what a rock star. If I ask him to come on my podcast, he's probably gonna say no, he's very busy. I'm not gonna ask, even those kind of things. But I'm not gonna go there. Actually, I wanna emphasize on
Go on my
something.
Instagram and you see how not serious I am, but it's okay.
Make sure to reach out, guys, to me, to Tal, to everybody else. Like, you'll be amazed. The kind of people that I got to connect because I just reached out, you'll be amazed. But I want to emphasize on something you said, which just to make sure people didn't miss it out. Like you said, so many things. I can go in 10 different directions now. But one thing that you, when you were talking about Israel, and you said at the beginning we had to rely on ourselves. We had to come together. And I think when startups and other brands and companies start building a community, they're always looking outwards, right? We need to build a community. All right, let's make events, but the community start inside. Who is the community, right? Like going back in history, the community was your tribe, right? Like it's the people around you. How about we actually pay more attention about who do we bring to our tribe to begin with, and how do we treat these people? Oh, I'm so busy. We don't have time to focus on team and culture now. We're just so busy. Let's launch the product. Amazing. Yeah, launch the product. Focus on the stuff, but who do you bring to your community? How do you treat the people from your inner circle? Right? Community starts there. I mean, maybe you can hear you've been building community in so many countries. Do you have any examples, like maybe from your experiences or a company, a brand that you saw that they really did it the right way? Like building a community of people who want to be a part of it, who want to belong in this community.
It's a great question. And that's for the, as you said, we went to so many topics. Each of the topics is a podcast by itself, okay? And I think that in the spirit of sharing and inviting people to get involved, I would love, Stoyan, if there would be a way that you can ask our listeners to share, to say, listen, from the topics you've discussed, we would really like to hear more about this topic. And we will indulge them. Really, we will open another podcast and we will talk about each and every topic. But I think we need to tell them, you and I, well, we enjoy talking to one another, but we don't need this. We can take it offline whenever we want. This is about us taking from our time and sharing our experience for the benefit of others. I would admit that I love being here. I was actually very excited about being here today, and I love to share, and you're the same. But the only way for us to get a feedback that we did well is to get something from the listeners. And what I would like the most is not for you saying, Tal, you were amazing. Believe me, I am amazing. I don't need you to tell me. It's what I think. But I would love to get a feedback. I
Mm.
would like to get topics that we can continue saying, listen, we started today, talk about a lot of things, raised a lot of, as we say, dust in the air. I
Mm.
want to see if we're that good, can we actually motivate people that we don't see them right now to write a topic? Yes, we would love to get a nice comment, a nice feedback, some compliments. It's nice. But we want to be more productive here. That's one thing I wanted to say. A second would be to the question that you've asked. So I totally agree with you. It's a tribal thing. It's a commodity, as we say. It's a brotherhood. It's a sisterhood. It's people from the within that connects. Okay? Remember that when you reach out a hand and shake a hand, still there is something inside that makes you do this. And this is what you don't see. We do not have this x-ray vision that I can look into your brain, you can look at mine. I'm here for an interest, you're here for an interest, and then immediately we see the interest, we connect, and after 5 minutes, we're having coffee. That's not how it works. It's all about this tango, asking one another questions just to understand why you're here. It's the same for a job interview. It's the same for a date. It's the same for a meeting, for a negotiation. So it's about that, okay? Sorry.
Just
So
one thing, just one thing to add to that. I can see there's people watching us live. So if you guys are watching us live, why don't you post in the comments what was a topic that really touched you, that was important to you? What was something, a key takeaway, something that you want to dig deeper into so we can cover it next time. So don't be shy. Just post in the comments what are some things that really stuck with you. Okay? So Tao, back at you.
yeah, so we're ending our time. I wanted to say really quickly to the point of to do, the to-do list, okay? Have a purpose, have a target. Really, you're old enough, take yourself seriously, okay? And get yourself, I don't know, a target a day and do your best to accomplish it. Number one. Number two, number two is a lot about, again, you realizing who you are. It's a lot about you understanding your worth and values. You don't give people homework and say, "Hey, come on, look at me." You will get it. No, you need to market yourself. Socialize, share, engage, show an interest, offer something before you want to take, give something before taking. Take yourself seriously, but take a joke. It's fine. Failure is imperative. It's a milestone. It's a stepping stone going upwards towards success. Don't just look at failure and say, what did I do wrong? Look also on the good and say, why did I succeed? And do more of that. Share. I will continue saying about the sharing because when you will go to a person without any reason, but knowing him, looking at him, realizing something and going, you're gonna do great today. When you see someone and they're not transparent people, engage. When you say a good word, you know who feels good about it? First of all, you, then the person who listens to you. Try it out. It is empowering. It's empowering to go to someone and say, wow, you really touched me. You really moved me. I'm so excited. You inspired me. The first person to enjoy it is you because you look at the other person's face and you see you did good. That, for me, in essence, is what people should do more of, being aware of, and to the point of community, as you said so correctly. It starts from within. When you understand your value, when you are willing to share, when you are willing to give before receiving, this is how community starts and it grows. So this is from me, Stoyan.
That's such a great way to wrap up this conversation, reminding everybody either listening here on LinkedIn, make sure to post your comment and let us know what really stuck with you. What are the key takeaways? If you listen to the podcast on Apple Podcast or Spotify, just find us on LinkedIn. Add us if we're not contacts. Just say hello and say what was something that really stuck with you and you want to learn more about. But before I wrap up, Tal, I just want to give you the chance to, because I'm sure now a lot of people are thinking, this Tal guy is fucking amazing. How can we get him to help us? What do you do these days? I mean, you're a speaker, you're a consultant, you're an advisor. What are the ways that you can support people, organizations, startup acceleration programs?
So I think the most easiest thing is just to reach out, connect on social. I don't care if it's a Facebook, it's a LinkedIn, it's an Instagram, okay? Connect and then just write something. You can, as you said, you can give a compliment. I love compliments, okay, to be honest, number one. But okay, you need something, don't write me a long letter. Just reach out and say, listen, I heard you, I'm inspired, I have something, I have a question, I have a query. I need help, I need direction. Ask for something, not how are you? If you do this, I don't answer, okay? Have a question, have something that you think I can help with, and then from there it's very short. As you said, pick up a phone, connect with me on the WhatsApp. By the way, if you connect on LinkedIn, my phone number is there. It's not hidden. It's very out there. Write me a WhatsApp, say you want help, let's have a call. It's as simple as that, okay? I do events, I do conferences, I do moderation, I do bar mitzvah and weddings. Whatever you need. I'm for hire, okay? So call me.
Yeah, and for the event producers out there, I experienced Tao live in Slovakia. He smashed it. He smashed it. The
Thank
keynote
you.
was not just so meaningful in terms of the content, but the way he delivers. He provokes you and he gets you to really think and leaves you with this kind of energy. So I highly recommend you to check out him on YouTube first, connect with him and eventually get him on board because he's going to smash it. He's going to inspire audience and leave them in a lot of food for thought. So, hey,
If I,
everybody, make sure to connect with Tal.
yeah, I have a website, of course, talcatran.com. All my details are there. You press the WhatsApp, I'm talking to you. It's that simple.
Keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple. And to keep it simple, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with one person that will get value from it. And of course, feel free to subscribe to Productivity Mastery on Apple Podcast, Spotify, where we bring you exceptional people like Tao. We have conversations. Hopefully, we deliver some value to you as well. So,
Thank
have an
you.
amazing day, everybody. And let's keep performing.
Have an
See you next
amazing
time.
day. Thank you, Stoyan. Thank you, everyone.